The Nephilim, ever heard of them? Biblical giants, present before and somehow even after the Great Flood, but how they survived Noah's flood. What secrets did they hold? In the book of Genesis, the Nephilim are described as the mighty progeny of the sons of God and the daughters of men. These were no ordinary beings. They were part celestial, part human, towering over men with their formidable presence and strength. But as fascinating as their origins are, there's a bigger question that looms over their legacy. How did they survive Noah's flood, a divine apocalypse meant to cleanse the earth of corruption? Today, we'll delve into the theories and possibilities that might explain this ancient puzzle. First up, let's talk about their angelic heritage. Being part divine, the Nephilim might have possessed supernatural resilience or abilities unknown to mankind. Could it be that their celestial nature provided them with a unique shield against the wrath of the flood? Another theory suggests foresight and preparation. With knowledge possibly passed down from their divine ancestors, some believe the Nephilim could have anticipated the flood. Did they construct refuges or find natural sanctuaries like deep caves or high mountains to survive? What do you think about the survival of the Nephilim? Could there be more to their story yet uncovered? To understand the survival of the Nephilim, we need to understand the context of their time. According to the book of Genesis, the earth was filled with corruption and violence. Humanity's moral fabric had deteriorated, and it seems that even beings like the Nephilim could have contributed to this chaos. The presence of these giants, with their extraordinary powers, might have exacerbated the moral decay, tipping the scales towards divine intervention. It wasn't just about their size or strength, but the impact of their very existence on human societies. Enter the flood, a divine reset meant to cleanse the earth of its corruption and give humanity a fresh start. This was no ordinary event. It was a fundamental recalibration of the world, from its landscapes to its inhabitants. So, how does the survival of the Nephilim fit into this? Their continued existence post-flood is a tantalizing hint that not all was lost, and perhaps not all was meant to be cleansed. This raises profound questions about the nature of divine judgment and mercy. As we explore this, we begin to see the flood not just as an act of destruction, but also as a complex decision with layers of meaning, possibly leaving room for exceptions like the Nephilim. Their survival might signify a deeper narrative woven into the very purpose of the flood itself. What do you think was the reason behind these exceptions? Could the Nephilim have had a role or purpose in the new world order that necessitated their survival? Given their possibly divine heritage, the Nephilim were not ordinary beings. Their unique origin stories suggest that they could have had capabilities far beyond those of normal humans. Today, we delve into how these capabilities might have contributed to their survival of the flood. One fascinating theory suggests that the Nephilim's angelic heritage could have provided them with supernatural resilience or divine protection. Imagine beings with the ability to withstand natural disasters or even manipulate their environment to some extent. Could such powers have shielded them from the flood's devastation? Another compelling idea is that the Nephilim, with their advanced knowledge passed down through their celestial lineage, might have foreseen the coming catastrophe. This foreknowledge could have allowed them to prepare, finding refuge in places that would withstand the deluge, like high mountains or deep caves. These theories not only highlight the Nephilim's extraordinary nature, but also suggest that their survival was not a mere fluke, but a result of their unique capabilities and perhaps even divine intent. The idea that they could have actively prepared for the flood introduces a new layer to our understanding of these enigmatic figures. The survival of the Nephilim through the flood challenges our understanding of the event as a simple narrative of destruction and renewal. It adds complexity to the notion of divine judgment, suggesting that there might have been elements of preservation and continuity intentionally woven into the cataclysm. These possibilities open up myriad paths for further inquiry. Were the Nephilim intended to survive as part of a divine plan? What role might they have played in the post-flood world? These questions not only deepen our dive into ancient texts, but also enrich our understanding of myth, legend, and divine mystery. What are your thoughts on the survival strategies of the Nephilim? Do you believe they had divine protection, or was it their extraordinary knowledge that saved them? Despite the flood's intent to cleanse the earth, references to giants, often thought to be Nephilim or their descendants, persist in biblical texts, especially in the tales of the Israelites encountering giants in Canaan. The mention of giants like the Anakim, who are described as coming from the Nephilim, suggests that either the Nephilim themselves or their progeny survived and continued to influence the human world. How could this be, given the flood's devastation? One theory is that the Nephilim who survived the flood could have re-established themselves, possibly through maintaining their lineage discreetly among human societies. Alternatively, the mentions of these giants post-flood could be metaphorical, symbolizing the persistence of certain human traits or challenges even after divine intervention. These accounts raise fascinating questions about continuity and change. They challenge us to consider whether the flood was a complete reset or if remnants of the pre-flood world, like the Nephilim, lingered to shape the new world dynamics. The possibility that the Nephilim or their descendants could have survived and influenced later generations adds depth to our understanding of biblical narratives. It suggests a world where the divine and the monstrous coexist, where the past continually echoes into the present. What do you think about the post-flood sightings of giants? Could they truly be descendants of the Nephilim, or are these stories a symbolic way to express ongoing human struggles against larger-than-life challenges? While some theories suggest a literal survival of the Nephilim through physical or divine means, others propose that the mention of these beings post-flood serves a symbolic purpose. In this interpretation, the Nephilim embody enduring human themes such as rebellion, hubris, or the struggle between good and evil. Scholars argue that the recurring theme of giants in biblical texts could symbolize the ongoing presence of sin and corruption in humanity, despite the divine intent of the flood to purge these elements. The Nephilim, in this view, are not just historical figures, but represent larger existential challenges that humanity continues to face. Moreover, the symbolic role of the Nephilim can be seen in how they are woven into the fabric of not just biblical, but also other ancient mythologies. These stories often use giants to represent the chaos and disorder that predate the creation of a moral and ordered world. This cyclical interpretation, where ancient evils or challenges continually resurface in new forms, echoes through many traditions. It suggests that each era must confront its own giants, whether they are literal or metaphorical. The story of the Nephilim does not merely end with their biblical mention, it extends its roots deep into the cultural and artistic soil of numerous societies. From the Renaissance paintings depicting biblical giants to modern fantasy literature that features giant creatures, the legacy of the Nephilim is vibrant and enduring. Historians suggest that the fascination with giants like the Nephilim speaks to a universal human trait, our curiosity about and fear of the other, the larger-than-life, and the unknown. These stories provide a framework for exploring complex themes such as morality, power, and human limits. In contemporary culture, the echoes of the Nephilim can be seen in characters and stories that deal with hybrid beings or the consequences of divine-human interactions. These narratives often question the boundaries of human capability and the ethical implications of crossing them. As we've seen, the Nephilim are more than just ancient characters. They are a powerful symbol that continues to inspire, challenge, and provoke. Their story compels us to look beyond the surface,
to uncover deeper truths about ourselves and our world.